Okay, here's the second part of the notes. Here's the second part of the notes. This is going to be the new thing. All right. Okay, so it's going to say write. Here's the direction, so write this down. Write a polynomial function. Essentially, it's going to start off like this. It's going to say write a polynomial function, and I'll even show you exactly how it says it. I don't want to have you write all of this stuff, but it says write a polynomial function of least degree with integral and coefficients. Don't worry about that. So you're just going to write a polynomial function that has the given zeros. See, we're going backwards now. So let me write this first. I won't write all that middle stuff. So pretty much the task, the objective is to write a polynomial function having the given zeros. Yes? Having the given zeros. So I'm going to do a quick little review, a little just to show you that you're really not doing much new. You're just going backwards. Remember before? Okay, let me just. Oh, come on. Okay. All right. So let's say. Let's go forward. Let's go forward again. What do I mean by that? Going forward. Oh. Well, remember, let's say an example, you had a function, right? F of x is equal to x squared. Let me think of a good one. Just plus 9x minus 36. Something like this, right? And then remember, they're asking you to find the zeros. We're not doing that. I mean, we already learned that, but I'm just showing you. This is what you've learned, right? So you learn to factor it. You learn to factor it, so you factor it. And this one factors out to, I just did this in my head. Plus 12 and minus 3, right? 12 times 3, or 12 times negative 3 is negative 36. And when you add a positive 12 and 12 take away 3, you get a positive. Okay. Right, so you factor it. And then to find the zeros, well, we set this equal to 0. Now we find the zeros, right? Remember the keyword zeros here? All right. And then you set this one equal to 0, x plus 12 equals 0, and then you set this one to 0. Oh, okay, easy, right? And then you get x equals negative 12, x equals positive 3. Oh, okay. And you're like, well, what's the big deal? Well, the big deal is this one, you started with your polynomial function. See, here's the function, right? This f of x. This whole part right here, this is your polynomial function. So we've been going forward where I give you the polynomial function, and then your job is to find the zeros, right? Zeros. See, now, if you read what the directions are saying, they're saying to write the function. The task is for you to write and find the function. Write a polynomial function having the given zeros. So now you're actually going to be starting with the zeros. And the question is, if I start with x equals negative 12 and x equals 3, how do I go back? How do I work backwards? That's what's happening now. All right, so this one was going forward. So now let me do the same problem starting with the zeros, starting with this, and and how to derive and how to write this polynomial function. Okay, so doing the same one, it's gonna say these directions, right? Write a polynomial function of least degree with integral coefficients that has the given zeros, right? Write a polynomial function, blah, 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 blah. And at the last it says having the given zeros. So if this was number one, it would say this. The zeros are what? Negative 12 and positive 3. Now you tell me how you're going to start with this and work your way back up. Well, very easy. If these are the zeros, well, let's just do this problem backwards. If the zeros is, if one of them is negative 12, write it. X equals negative 12, right? We're going backwards, see? Oh yeah, right there. And then and then for this one, it's what? X equals 3. Now these are the zeros, remember? But before, right before you got to this part, remember you wanted to equal to 0, so you moved it over, right? So this one's really what? You move this back. X plus 12 equals 0. See? You see it there? We're going backwards. And if this is a positive 3, that means that this would have to be x what? Minus 3 equals to 0. Yeah? And this part where you have it equal to 0, see, we're working backwards. We're working backwards. This is the part where you put, okay, this one was equal to 0 and this one was equal to 0. That means that these are your parentheses, right? This is the ones that go here. X plus 12 and x minus 3, right? They're equal to 0. So remember, we'll go this way. Right, we have it here. And then how do you find the function? Well, easily. Here you had a factor, but now once I have this, I just multiply these. I multiply this out to get the polynomial function. So this is the zeros that I started with, but I want to get my function. I put f of x back there. And now we multiply this. You gotta multiply this to get the polynomial function. So if you do that little box method, I mean, we know the answer, right? The answer is going to be this. You can distribute this out, or you can do the Punnett square, you know, that box method. Or like I said, some of you still like doing this distributor property. That's fine. You're going to get x squared plus 9x minus 36. All right, so now we're starting with the zeros, and now you're coming up with the function. All right, let's do one. This one's an easy one, right? Number 2. Let me do one that we did not start right off the bat. Let me give you the zeros. What if I told you the zeros were 4 and negative 2? Well, that means that this one is what? X equals 4, and this one is what? X equals negative 2. And moving this back would be what? X minus 4 equals 0, right? I'm putting it back, that would be x plus 2 is equal to 0, right? That means that this part is the part that goes in the parentheses. Equal to what? 0. That would be x minus 4, x plus 2, right? This one's equal to 0, and this one's equal to 0, right? We're working backwards. And now to find the polynomial function, that becomes what? F of x. And then now you have to multiply this. Multiply these two to get your polynomial function. You can practice it on your own or do the FOIL method. I already know what it is. It's going to be x squared minus 2x minus 8. Okay. Now let's pick it up. Number 3. What if your zeros is this? What if your zeros is negative 2/3 and like 6? Oh yeah, we just learned these today, right? In video 1, you had these ones that had a fraction. I told you, you might need to go back and look at that first part of that first video. What do you do with this? How does this work? I understand this one. This one's x equals 6. Well, see, stop thinking. See, you're trying to already get the answer or see the parentheses. That's the problem. Go backwards. If this is 6, that means x equals 6. If this is negative 2/3, that means this is what? X is equal to negative 2/3, right? Just one thing at a time. And just watch. The same way we did this is the same thing we're going to do with this one, right? We'll move it over. So that's going to be what? X minus 6 equals 0. And then I move this one over, right? That's going to be x plus 2/3 equals 0. Okay, relax. Don't panic. I know this one's good. This one's good. This one's not good. I don't want fractions. So I'm going to tell you what you do. This part with the fraction, what you want to do is you want to just, how do I get rid of a 3? Or whatever the denominator is. Multiply every term by 3. Or whatever the denominator is. And everything on this side and everything on this side. What's the good thing when you multiply any number to 0? Well, it's still going to give you 0. 3 times 0, 0. This will be 3x. 3's cancel, 3x plus 2. This is the one equal to 0. That's the one equal to 0. Okay? So now we put this, both this one equal to 0 and this one equal to 0. Would you agree if I were to solve this and I move the 2 over and then I divide by 3, it's negative 2/3, and that's right. Okay, so there it is. So this goes f of x is equal to whatever the product of this is. And now that's when I gotta come over here. I'll give you the answer because I could do it real fast. 3x squared minus 16x, yeah, sure, minus 12. Let me check it over here if I did this right. I'll do this square business. That's 3x plus 2 times x minus 6. That's going to be 3x squared plus 2x minus 18x minus 12. When I combine like terms, yes, I get the negative 16x. I'm good. That is the polynomial function. Right? That's what we're writing. All right, let's do one more. There we go. I told you. It's going to start off easy, look really easy, and now, I don't know. I hope you're still good. Last one. What if I give you these zeros like this? What if I give you the 0 is 1/2 and negative 5/4? All right, how do you find the polynomial function that has these two zeros? Well, that means x equals 1/2. That means x equals negative 5/4. And at this point, you can get rid of the fraction now if you want, right? At this point, we can actually do this, right? Right. Whenever you have these that have fractions, at this point you can get rid of the fraction. So what is this? 2. So multiply this by 2. Multiply this by 2. At this point, you can do the same thing here. I want to get rid of a 4. Multiply by 4. Multiply by 4. And then you'll have this. 2x equals what? 1. And then you have 4x equals what? Negative 5. And then remember, we want to make them equal to 0. So move that back, that'll be 2x minus 1 equals 0. Move that one back, that'll be 4x plus 5 equals 0. And once it's like this, the ones that say equal to 0, that's what goes in your parentheses. So remember, equals 0, it's going to be what? 2x minus 1 and a 4x plus 5. All right. Let's see, if you solve 2x minus 1, will you get 1/2? Yeah, 2x minus 1 equals 0. Move the 1 over, it's positive 1. Divide by 2, 1/2. We're just going backwards. All right, same thing for that one. So it's good, it's all good. Now let's find the polynomial function. So now change that back to f of x. And now you got to multiply this. Well, you can have fun practicing. I'm just going to put the answer here. This is going to be it's not an answer, it's a polynomial function, sorry. 8x squared plus 6x minus 5. When you multiply this, you'll get 8x squared plus 6x minus 5. That's what we're doing. Now we're starting with the zeros, and you're coming up with the polynomial function that gets you those zeros. All right, there it is. Good luck, guys.